I know a little bit of my time. I'll shut down.
It's okay. I'd like to get the response from the Polish foreign minister. We heard this morning the NATO Secretary General basically say to Europe, stop complaining, make a plan. We understand that there will be a summit on Monday. Perhaps you can confirm that. What leverage do you have to get back in the game? What's your plan?
Well, to convince President Putin to become more reasonable, we have to convince him that the price that he would have to pay would be unacceptable. This is a classic colonial war. They usually take
Münxen təhlükəsizlik konfransında Ukrayna dinləmələri başlayıbdı. İngiltərə Xarici İşlər Naziri Trump'ın Ukrayna məsələləri və xüsusi nümayəndəsi Ukrayna Xarici İşlər Naziri və Polşa Xarici İşlər Naziri iştirak edirlər.
So our plan should be to stay the course, to continue supporting Ukraine and to support Ukraine in its defense for as long as Ukraine is willing to defend itself.
Stay the course without the Americans, or?
We made that clear in our announcement.
Because they don't seem as if they're in it for the long haul. Perhaps I'm misunderstanding the general, but.
Well, I agree with the general that if it could be ended quickly, of course.
General Kate Hillock'ta çıxış edib az önce.
The question is, how do you get to a deal that everybody can live with? And if it can be done faster, great. But in my mind, to get to it faster, you should prepare for the medium term.
The first time I will disagree with Radek. Putin doesn't want peace, he wants war, because for him war also is an instrument to
Ukrayna'nın Xarici İşlər Naziri çıxış edib.
control his country and regions. If we are speaking about true reasons why he wants war.
If he capitulated, he would have peace, right? So he would prefer not to pay the price.
I'd like to turn to the UK Foreign Secretary. I mean, the UK always likes to say that you have this special relationship with the United States, and through that lens, I'd like to ask you what your plan is right now. Follow Trump, try and build a bridge between the US and the EU, present your own plan.
Let's step back for a moment. It was the US and the UK that
Aparatı soruşur ki İngiltere nə edəcək?
the global community because of our shared intelligence capability with a fact that many in Europe said couldn't happen, wouldn't happen, that Putin was about to invade Ukraine. And I was in Ukraine the month before that invasion, and I remember looking at all the faces of those young men and women in Kyiv who had lost their lives, because this story begins back in 2014. Since then, combined as a transatlantic alliance, we have supplied Ukraine with the military capability, with the humanitarian capability, and the economic capability to fend off this war. And the bravery, the courage, the innovation in Ukraine, which often doesn't get talked about, the innovation in drone capability has been phenomenal, given that people said this would be over within a week. So that's what we've achieved. Today, there has been a conversation that our American friends have begun. It's talk about talks. There is no negotiated settlement. We know, our assessment is certainly that Putin has shown no desire to negotiate other than to see a capitulation from our Ukrainian friends, which is something we cannot tolerate. And neither can our American friends tolerate that, because it would send a message to others, let's say Maduro, that invade Venezuela. To China have your imperial ambitions. And so we have to stand up to Putin. We know that. The truth is, in that negotiation, the question is on what terms, one, and two, what are the security guarantees that ensure that Putin does not come back for more, so that we have an enduring